Angelic Teaching 2, session number 9. 9 is transformation, 9 is change. I told you we like to be working with numbers. And even the sessions that we work with, if you get back to them, you will notice that the number of the session corresponds to the frequency of the work that we've been doing. Did I work this out intentionally? No, of course not. But I know my guides made it happen the same way they plan everything. I dare saying out loud that I hear voices. I make the choice consciously of saying it and stating it and standing behind it. You don't have to. Again, it's your personal choice. I've seen parliament members, CEOs, being intuitive and creating their company just because they had this urge of creating it, because they had this vision of creating it, and they had no other option than to create and manifest it. Who do you think Abraham Lincoln was? Obviously for Nostradamus, that's obvious. Merlin, of course. But what about all the others? What about Bill Gates? See, it is possible to blend those different realities and make them work. You just need to find the right way of expressing it. Finding the right market, finding the right segment. Finding the right audience. Maybe in the environment that you are, people are not willing to hear that. People are not willing to hear about fields of energy, vortexes, bending different realities and changing encoding. It's out of their reach. It's out of their understanding. It's your duty. It is your task to be able to transform the messages that you hear into something that they will be able to understand. This is the most important teaching I will ever deliver to you. No matter how good you are, no matter how powerful the work that you do is, if you want to be understood, you need to be able to talk the same language as them. You need to make yourself understandable. I'm not talking about learning the best way possible in order to shift realities and for people to like you. No. I'm talking of you finding the right ways. And again, they are different, there are several. For you to be able to interact in the best way possible in order to blend those messages into what you're supposed to be doing. Are you going to do it face to face in a proper setting, naming it and branding it as energy work or therapy? Are you going to be doing it by saying nothing and still working as an architect and building your structures with the visions that you have or with the messages that you have? Don't put this door here, put it there, make it higher, make it larger, etc., etc. Remember, your soul most of the time is whispering, and your guides as well. And you've got this other voice, this big loud voice from your mind telling you what you should be doing and what you should not be doing. You have to connect to your inner self and find this inner guidance. So it is easy for you. You have to have faith. Now, what happens during those moments where we don't receive any message? We feel that we are not connected at all with anything. It feels like we've been shutting down all our gifts, all our abilities. For whatever reason, what is happening at that time to you? Well, it's called experiencing being human. This is a very important concept. You cannot sustain your growth by always working from a specific angle. If you want to learn, if you want to discover, you have to experience different things. And your guides know that. It is not sustainable to be working always at the highest frequency and staying there and always connecting and downloading things. Because otherwise, you become a simple robot. You need to have periods of time where you will be either connecting, either manifesting, either implementing, either testing. But you need to have also those moments where there is nothing. For you to be able once to feel what it is like to be on your own, not hearing anything, not feeling anything. The only purpose for that is for you to realize how gifted and lucky you are to be able to feel this connection. And if you're not connected, then you understand how difficult it might be for you to be doing the right thing, for you to be choosing the right path. So first of all, you have to know that whatever you are experiencing when it happens is not permanent. It came in your life for one reason. I've seen some people being so disorientated when those periods of time happen in their life. They either rush towards therapists, read more books, start to blame themselves, or blame others, thinking that someone is casting a spell on them or that something is wrong. Some of them go in therapy. Some others start to take drugs, hoping that that will help them to reconnect. Some others will go into depression. Very few of them are going to embrace this path, considering that it's holiday time. A period of time where you can be focusing on simple things. A period of time where your only concerns are your well-being. Eating healthy, doing more sport, enjoying driving your car, your comfortable car with your hair flowing around. That part is considering becoming human and alive. If you try to shut that part down in yourself, on your path, your guides will make sure that you get back to that reality. And if it has to take your gifts away for a period of time, then they will do it. The same way, you have to find the right balance between learning, teaching, doing the work and helping others. It's a cycle. You learn, you experiment on others, with others, helping them, then you teach. And it comes back to a loop. The part that is missing, of course, is the part where you acknowledge the changes. So, you learn, you experiment, you teach, and then you come back to the center in order to double check what happened. And then again, you learn, you experiment, you teach, and you come back to an end. It's the infinite number. It's the 8 of the learning. It's the 8 learning process. You can even feel it energetically as I draw it there. It's the 8. You can go as fast as you can, but the loop is always there. And see, you always come back to the center. You always go back to one point or another. Yes. This concept is very important. I've seen people learning all their life, but they've done nothing with it. They never contributed to the world with it. Either they don't want to, or they don't feel like it, or they feel they can't because they don't have enough self-confidence. I've seen people working, helping others, but spending that much time delivering that they forget to learn, they forget to teach, or they forget to meditate or feel connected, whatever you want to call it, to assess the work that they're doing. The first thing that I do every single day when I get up, before opening the phone, before checking the emails, the first thing that I do is to write down the few messages, several messages that I got during the night. And most of the time, those are tasks, things that I need to do, or things that I need to implement, or I need to check. Sometimes it takes me only a few seconds to jot that down. It can go from take an appointment for the chiropractor to do this edit on that specific blog, or contact that specific person for that specific topic. That's how I get downloads for creating a workshop or anything. The same way, when I finish my day, before going to bed, I acknowledge the things that I've been learning, the things that I've been doing, how my day went. Learning and reassessing what I've been going through. Then I know all the things that I need to improve, and I might come up with questions. Those questions, I leave them for the night, and I put them out there, asking for guidance. And those guidance, those thoughts come to me during the night. On the next day, I know exactly where I am. Because I got those messages. I really feel that this cycle of 4, learning, implementing, teaching, reassessing. You can put other words for each of them, of course, but they all come up to the same point. It talks about personal growth. It talks about contributing to the world. It talks about sharing your message to the community so others can benefit from it and learn from your experience. And then it comes down to evaluating the changes and for you to understand the next step you have to make. This is a very important concept. See, we started with values, and now we're talking about how to implement all of that. How to make it work. I'd like to see yourself as an astronaut, exploring, discovering, receiving still guidance, having a plan where to go, what to do. Feel this 8 shape inside of your body. Feel and visualize this 8 shape inside of your body, around your heart. Could be solar plexus. It could be your stomach. Wherever you feel comfortable. And visualize yourself going through this 8 as you being this particle and being in this 8 tunnel. As you can guess, it's like a tunnel, and you're in it. Visualize the inside walls of this 8 as being gold. And the whole structure of the 8 is gold. And as you go through this tunnel, in front of you, you see this white beam coming towards you. And you can feel this energy of this white energy coming towards you. And as you go faster and faster, you can feel both energies. This white energy coming towards you. And this gold energy surrounding you. And I want you to go faster and faster in this 8. Faster and faster in this 8. Until you suddenly realize that those white particles that you feel coming towards you is the trail that you leave behind you. Wow. Imagine that. I want you to start keeping feeling it, to keep feeling this. I want you to understand this goal that you're trying to reach, the whole purpose of you going faster and faster towards this white and tunnel, there is no limit, there is no ending. It all comes back to the same initial point. And you not even being aware that you're going through an 8. Not even being aware that you are in a shape. That you are in a geometric shape. Because everything goes so fast. Because everything seems to be the same. Because as the 8 is huge, you don't even realize that you're turning left and right, and up and down. Did you even realize that this white energy coming towards you was you? Was the seeds that you were leaving behind the trail? This flow of energy nurturing you is you being transformed by this energy coming from all around you, this gold energy. We could be spending one full chapter just on what we've been just experiencing here. See how all the different subjects that we've been learning in our life start to blend. See how it is impossible to segment the knowledge by saying this is history, this is geography, this is science, this is mathematics, this is linguistic, this is mechanics. It doesn't work that way. Everything is blended. Imagine that one person, when he becomes specialist in one field or another, becomes so well aware of his environment that he totally forgets the main basis concept and principle in other fields. And he doesn't see the reality for what it is anymore. Keeps digging and digging on his own path. Repeating and repeating the same pattern. You see where I'm heading. We need to go through the 8. Until at one point we start to realize that there is 1 8 going that way, there is 1 8 going that way, there is 1 8 going that way. And if you start putting and mapping all those different 8s one after the other, being all aligned to its center, you start to realize that we are creating a shape of 8s. And you being in each of them at the same time, in a multiverse universe. Meaning that you are all those different realities all at once. And I want you to start to feel what it feels like inside of your body as you start to understand that you are not just one, but you are billions. Yes, everything that we do and we act on creates a ripple effect. Not only on one person, but the whole humanity, in the whole universe. I know we're talking here about subjects that are at the fringe of metaphysical concepts. We're talking about sociology, we're talking about ethnology, philosophy. And they all come to the same point. We're talking about symbols, we're talking about mythology, science, architecture. We are the architect of the universe. Each of us is a part of the divine. We are the divine. We create this world. We shape it. Each of our single being. I love to see ants working, how they feel committed to a group, how they feel committed to a role, feeling empowered since day one. Have you ever seen a dead ant on the floor? No. Why do ants die? Have you ever thought of that? See, shifting reality, shifting our concepts, starting to realize that there are billions of questions we never thought of. What do you do when you don't know something? What do you do when you want to learn something? We're touching here a concept of being curious. Is it just one thought that comes in your mind and just you let it go? I'm very curious. I spend probably 2 hours a day looking at things, new things, learning online per day. Topics are broad. I like to have answers. I like to discover things, I like to learn things. Kids are curious. I like to be like a kid. I like to learn how things work. I like to learn how things are created. I like to learn how an organism works and is structured. I'm always amazed about how nature creates things. There's so much to learn from animals. So we come up here with the concept of time. How do you want to fill up your day? Do you want to be always busy? comes back to the other concept of how much money do I need? See, we're talking here about a whole new topic here. It's about, are the things that I'm buying necessary? Well, a good way to look at it is go to your garage. Look at your storage. You know how things go. You bring something home, you open the package, put it on the kitchen, and then progressively you move it to another room, then to a drawer, then to a cupboard, then you bring it to a box, you store it somewhere in your house, and then you bring it to the garage, or then you even bring it to the storage. Well, start from the end of it. Go first in your storage. Look about all the things that you've got there and all the time and money that you've been spending for it, to buy it. I know this bit here could be just a brand new topic as well, about how to work more efficiently and how to focus on the things that we really need. But if we do apply this to our own environment as well, to our tools, to the things that matter, to the things that we learn, the things that we discover, is your knowledge organized? Are your tools well organized the same way we've been working on with this toolbox? Remember? When we were watching this toolbox where everything was organized, everything was cleaned, we knew for each single one how to use them best. Yes, we are working towards helping you to become a better you, being more happy, being more healthy. Yeah, healthy is definitely part of the game as well. All right, put it that way. You only can showcase and deliver what you've been applying on yourself. Are you going to go see a doctor who is going to tell you about your health and how you should be losing some weight if he's himself 30 kilos overweight? What kind of advice could he give you? Are you going to listen to that? Or are you just going forward towards the things that matter? Finding the right person who is going to help you, because you can refer to him as a role model, because he becomes an example for you. I told you about pushing yourself to the limit. Finding this right moment where you feel that it is a little bit challenging without pushing it too far, but still learning. And I want you to start applying this technique, this concept, to each single aspect of your life. Not only when you do energy work, but of course when you do energy work. Am I just right in the tempo? Am I always being aligned? Have my thoughts moving away from where I'm supposed to be? Is my energy level always high? Am I always sensing the right thing at the right time? Is my vortex properly aligned? What about my auric field? Do I control enough my emotions? Am I still connected to my soul? Think about all those different parameters. and about all different aspects in your life. Family, friends, learning, sports, health. Apply that to all. That's the key. Wish you all the best. Talk to you soon.